It started on a night that felt heavier than usual. The sky was dark, and rain tapped steadily against the windows like someone trying to send a warning. I sat alone in the living room, staring at my phone, waiting for a message that never came. Marcus was late again. At first, it had been small things, coming home an hour late, then 2 hours, then sometimes after midnight. Each time he had the same explanation: work, always work, and each time I nodded and told myself not to worry. But that night was different. Midnight passed, then 1, then 2. My calls went straight to voicemail. Something inside me twisted with a feeling I couldn't explain. Outside, thunder rolled across the sky as if the storm was getting closer. At some point, exhaustion took over. I must have fallen asleep on the couch, because the next thing I remember was a knock at the door. Soft, slow, careful. When I opened it, I froze. Standing there was Liam, Marcus's younger brother, rain-soaked. His jacket and water dripped from his hair onto the porch. His expression was strange, almost like he had seen something he couldn't forget. "I didn't know where else to go," he said quietly. I stepped aside and let him in. The house felt colder after he entered. Liam had always been different from Marcus. Where Marcus was quiet and controlled, Liam was restless. The type of person who vanished for months and came back with stories he never fully told. But tonight he looked different, nervous, uneasy, almost guilty. "I've been trying to reach Marcus," I said quickly. "He never came home." For a moment, Liam didn't answer. He just looked at the floor. Then he sighed slowly. "There's something you need to know." My heart began to race. We sat across from each other in the dim living room while the storm slowly faded outside. Liam looked around the room like it held memories he wasn't ready to face. Then he leaned forward. "Before I say anything," he whispered, "you need to promise me something." "What?" "You can't trust Marcus." The words hit me like ice water. I laughed nervously. "That's ridiculous." But Liam didn't laugh. Instead, he reached into his pocket and placed a small envelope on the table. "Look for yourself." Inside was a photo, grainy, taken from far away, but clear enough. Marcus stood in the picture with another woman, his arms wrapped around her like they had done it 1,000 times. My chest tightened. The room felt like it was spinning. "I followed him," Liam said quietly. I knew something wasn't right. I stared at the photo, trying to make sense of the man I thought I knew. Years of memories suddenly felt uncertain. Every smile, every late night, every excuse. Had it all been a lie? "I didn't come here just to tell you," Liam said softly. "I came because you deserve the truth." For a long time, neither of us spoke. Eventually, Liam stood up. I should go, but something stopped me. Maybe it was the loneliness. Maybe it was the shock. Or maybe it was the strange comfort of not being alone anymore. "Stay," I said quietly, and that was the beginning of everything changing. The days that followed were strange. Marcus never came home. His office claimed he was traveling. His phone remained off. The police said there was no sign of danger. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Liam stayed in the guest room. At night, we would meet in the kitchen when neither of us could sleep. We talked for hours. About childhood, about betrayal, about the quiet loneliness people hide behind normal lives. Somewhere in those late-night conversations, something shifted. The silence between us began to feel different, warmer, closer, dangerous. One night, I stood by the window watching the rain again. Liam walked into the room. He didn't say anything. He just stood beside me. "You shouldn't be alone tonight," he said softly. I knew what he meant, and maybe he knew I wouldn't say no. What happened that night wasn't planned. It wasn't revenge. It was two broken people searching for something real. But peace never lasts. 2 days later, the police called. They had found Marcus's car, abandoned near the edge of town. No blood, no signs of struggle, just an empty car, like someone had simply disappeared. Marcus was officially declared missing. The investigation went nowhere, but something else began to bother me. Liam had known more than he told me. One night I walked into the living room and saw him holding a small notebook. He tried to hide it when he saw me, but I caught a glimpse of the cover. Marcus's name. "What is that?" I asked. He hesitated, then handed it to me. I found it in his car. Inside were pages filled with Marcus's writing. Some talked about work, some mentioned the woman in the photo, but the last page made my blood run cold. There was only one sentence written across it. "If anything happens to me, it won't be an accident." I slowly looked up at Liam, and for the first time I realized something terrifying. Maybe Marcus wasn't the only one hiding secrets. And maybe the storm we were trapped in had only just begun.